Hello everyone, after a long time. So in the first video we were discussing about the hydrocarbons chapter, that too how to name the alkenes. We had completed the alkenes, we have started alkenes, and we have done with the IUPAC nomenclature of the alkenes. So in this session we will be seeing how to prepare the alkenes. We can prepare these alkenes by following many different methods. What is the general formula of the alkenes? CnH2n. So let us start with the first method of preparation of alkene, that is by dehydration of alcohol. The first method where we will be preparing the alkenes is by doing dehydration of alcohol. Dehydration of alcohol. Here we will be using one dehydrating agent. What is dehydration? Removal of water molecule. Removal of water molecule, you call it as a dehydration, and you will be doing this dehydration from the alcohols to prepare the alkene. Let us see how is that done now. So I will be taking the first example, that is CH3 CH2OH. What is the IUPAC name of this compound now? Here we have two carbons, therefore root word will be eth. We have single bond between carbon and a carbon. The suffix, primary suffix will be ane. Here we have the functional group alcohol. So the secondary suffix what we will be using is ol. So here I have taken a compound, that is alcohol ethanol. By taking the ethanol, we will be preparing the alkene by using some dehydrating agent. What is dehydrating agent? Which removes the water molecule from the taken reactant. Which removes the water molecule, you call it as a dehydrating agent. You call it as dehydrating agent, and here we will be using concentrated H2SO4 as a dehydrating agent. Okay, so when I use this dehydrating agent, it removes 1 mole of water molecule from this particular alcohol. From where are you going to remove the water molecule now? That is, you have to remove H2O. H plus and OH minus will be removed from this particular alcohol from the adjacent carbons. See, here you have OH. Do not take the hydrogen from the same carbon now. Why? Because it becomes highly unstable and you are not going to get your alkene there. So what you have to do? You have to remove one H plus and one OH minus from the adjacent carbons. From the adjacent carbons. Here I have OH, and from here I will be removing the H. Here I have OH, and from here I will be removing the OH. That is removal of water molecule. You have to heat it. And this particular reaction where you have taken the primary alcohol will be done in the temperature, that is 170 degrees Celsius. You have to maintain a temperature 170 degrees Celsius, and you have to use a dehydrating agent. Why dehydrating agent? Because you want to remove 1 water molecule from the alcohol. Dehydration. Removal of water molecule from the alcohol using the dehydrating agent. So what you are going to get now? H plus from here, OH minus from here. Therefore, you will be getting the double bond between the carbon and a carbon. Correct? You will break this bond, you will break this bond, you are going to get double bond here. And the compound formed is ethene. So therefore what you did, you have converted the alcohol into the alkene just by using a dehydrating agent, that is concentrated sulfuric acid. And I have taken water molecule outside. Fine. First example. Here I have taken a primary alcohol. What is primary alcohol now? The carbon which is having a OH group is in turn attached with only one alkyl group, and therefore you call it as a primary alcohol you have taken. So next what I will be doing here is, I will be taking a secondary alcohol. What is secondary alcohol now? The carbon which is having a OH group, the carbon which is having a OH group should be attached with the two alkyl groups, should be attached with the two alkyl groups. See the valency now. Here I will be having one hydrogen. And you call this as a secondary alcohol. Why secondary alcohol? Because the carbon which is having a OH group is attached with the two alkyl groups again, and therefore you call it as a secondary alcohol. Same process again. So even here you will be using a concentrated sulfuric acid which is acting as a dehydrating agent. One of the best dehydrating agent, you can say this. So remember concentrated sulfuric acid as a dehydrating agent. And here this particular reaction where you have taken the secondary alcohol, it undergoes at 140 degrees Celsius. The reaction is carried out in 140 degrees Celsius. So what happens again here now? See, from this carbon you will be removing a OH minus. From this carbon you will be removing a OH minus. And from the adjacent carbons you have to remove the hydrogen. That is H plus. Do not remove the hydrogen from the same carbon. Do not remove the hydrogen from the same carbon. Only remove OH minus from this carbon, and from the next you have to remove the hydrogen. This is nothing but your elimination reaction. This is nothing but your elimination reaction. You are eliminating the water molecule from this alcohol, OH from this carbon, and from the adjacent carbons you will be removing a proton, that is H plus. So let me take this carbon. Fine. So here I have CH3. From here I will be removing one hydrogen. So it becomes CH2. From here you have removed your OH minus. So therefore you will be getting a double bond between carbon and a carbon. And as usual you have your CH3 here. Plus water molecule has been eliminated. Therefore you can also call it as a elimination reaction. You can also call it as a elimination reaction. This hydrogen remains as it is here. No change in that. So what product did you get here? What product did you get here? It is 1, 2, 3. IUPAC nomenclature. You have to number the carbon chain. From left or right? From left. Why? You are giving a smaller number for this double bond. The priority is given for the double bond rather than the single bond. So 1, 2 and 3. If you have 3 carbons in the product or in the straight chain, what is the root word used? It is prop. And you have a double bond between carbon number 1 and a carbon number 2, you will be using a smaller number 1. So it is prop-1-ene, or directly you can say propene. I hope it is clear. Correct? So we have taken one primary alcohol and one more secondary alcohol, and the temperature we have maintained 170 degrees Celsius and 140 degrees Celsius, and we have prepared a alkene by removing the water, by eliminating a water molecule. You can also call this particular reaction as a elimination reaction, because after this example I will be explaining what about the mechanism. What is the mechanism followed to prepare the alkene starting from the alcohol. Go for the third example. Let us take a tertiary alcohol. Take the tertiary alcohol. That is a carbon which is having a alcohol group, that is OH group, is having 3 alkyl groups attached to it. So therefore you call this as a tertiary alcohol. Same procedure. Even here I will be using a concentrated H2SO4 as a dehydrating agent. But the temperature maintained here is 100 degrees Celsius. If you remember, when we have used the primary alcohol, it was 170 degrees Celsius. When we have used the secondary alcohol, it was 140 degrees Celsius. And here we are using the tertiary alcohol, and the temperature is again reduced to 100 degrees Celsius. So what you are going to get the product here? From this carbon, you will be removing the OH minus. From any of the adjacent carbons, you have to remove the H plus, that is hydrogen, proton. Either from this or these 2 carbons, you have to remove the H plus, and from this particular carbon, you will be removing the OH minus. So product what I will be getting here is, now I am going to remove hydrogen from this carbon. So it is CH2 double bond carbon CH3 and one more CH3, where I have removed OH minus from this and H plus from here. So it is H2O elimination has been taken place. You can call it as a dehydration of an alcohol. Dehydration, removal of a water molecule to prepare the alkene. To prepare the alkene. What is the IUPAC name of this particular alkene now? Let me take this as a parent chain. Let me take this as a parent chain. Carbon number 1, 2, 3. Name it, number it. 1, carbon number 2, carbon number 3. See, on the second carbon you have some guest there. On the second carbon you have a substituent present there. What is the substituent present there? It is methyl group present. So on the second carbon I have a methyl group. So it becomes 2-methyl. In the straight chain you have 3 carbons, so the root word is prop. Between carbon number 1 and carbon number 2 you have the double bond and it becomes prop-1-ene. So you have prepared an alkene starting from a tertiary alcohol. So as per we have seen, for the preparation of the alkene starting from the tertiary alcohol, you require only 100 degrees Celsius temperature to be maintained. Whereas while preparing the alkene from the secondary alcohol, you need 140 degrees Celsius. From the primary alcohol, you need 170 degrees Celsius. So as we have seen, the temperature is been decreasing from primary to tertiary. So ease of dehydration, that is ease of dehydration, the rate of reaction you can say, tertiary alcohol is faster than the secondary alcohol than the primary alcohol. As per the comparison, as we have seen the temperature required for preparing the alkene starting from different alcohols, we have got the order, that is tertiary alcohol faster than secondary than primary. Why is this so now? For understanding this particular information, we need to know the mechanism of the reaction. We need to know mechanism of the reaction. See, in the mechanism for this particular reaction, we follow elimination reaction. This is the elimination reaction. That means we are eliminating the water molecule from here. If we see step by step, let me take CH3, CH2OH. That is, I have taken a primary alcohol. When I take the primary alcohol and react it with the H2SO4, that is concentrated sulfuric acid, which is acting as a dehydrating agent, it protonates the alcohol. Whatever we have taken as a reactant, this particular H2SO4 protonates the alcohol given. That means here we will be having H plus and HSO4 minus in this H2SO4, that is H plus and HSO4. This H plus, here we have lone pair of electrons, so you will be having this particular bond formation taking here. Lone pair of electrons will get attacked to this H plus, that is proton, so you will be getting CH3, CH2, OH and H. That is protonated alcohol you will be getting. What you will be getting? You will be getting a protonated alcohol. After this particular reaction, and this step of reaction is a fast step. It is a faster step and this is a rate determining step. If you want to know the rate of reaction of this particular reaction, you will be seeing this speed. Here it is a fast reaction and this first reaction is a rate determining step. After this, there will be a removal of this particular water molecule. Why? Because oxygen became highly unstable by losing its lone pair of electron and it got a positive charge on it, and we called it as a protonated alcohol. So, removal of water molecule takes place here, and you will be getting CH3, CH2 plus. What did you form here? You have got the carbocation. The intermediate of this elimination reaction is carbocation. And the rate of reaction depends on the stability of the carbocation. What kind of carbocation you are preparing, depending on that, rate of reaction depends. Here we have formed the primary carbocation. The carbon which is having positive charge, that is carbocation, is having one methyl group attached to it. Only one methyl group attached to it. So you have formed the primary alcohol. And you people know what is the stability order of the carbocation. Tertiary carbocation is highly stable than the secondary and than the primary. This is the stability order of the carbocation. And you have formed the primary carbocation here. And after formation of this primary carbocation, you need to stabilize the carbocation whichever it is formed here. How will you do that? In the presence of HSO4 minus. HSO4 minus. You have taken one proton from sulfuric acid. In the first step, you have taken proton from sulfuric acid. Give back its proton to this now. Give back the proton to this. So you are going to get CH2. You gave a proton from this carbon and double bond CH2. You made a stable alkene, that is a ethene. By removal of water molecule using the dehydrating agent sulfuric acid. So what did you do here? You have taken alcohol as a starting reactant. You have used the dehydrating agent. What did the dehydrating agent do? It converted your alcohol into protonated alcohol. It converted your alcohol into protonated alcohol. Because you had a lone pair of electrons on the oxygen, here it had a H plus, so attraction took place. Here you got the H plus towards your OH. Arrow mark should be like this. H plus, it came on oxygen, so you got the protonated alcohol here. And if you see here, oxygen is not stable because it has got the 3 bonds, so it is trying to break the bond and it is moving out. That is, elimination is taking place, and you got the carbocation. Carbocation, whatever you have formed, is a less stable. Then you got your HSO4 minus from your sulfuric acid. Give back its proton. Give back its proton. So you got your ethene. When you observe this particular reaction, the rate of reaction depends on the stability of the carbocation. So as I said, ease of dehydration, that is rate of reaction of this dehydration of alcohols, is tertiary faster than secondary than primary. Why is primary least? Because it has formed the primary carbocation which is less stable. Let me take a tertiary alcohol and write the mechanism, then you will understand it completely. So let us see the mechanism of this tertiary alcohol whatever we have taken. Here, when you use the H2SO4, that is H plus and HSO4 minus, as we have a lone pair of electrons here, we have a lone pair of electrons on the oxygen. This H plus will be taken here. So you are going to get a protonated alcohol. You will be getting a protonated alcohol. You got a protonated alcohol. After getting this protonated alcohol, your oxygen became highly unstable. So it tries to break the bond between this, and you will be eliminating the water molecule from this protonated alcohol. Therefore, you end up in forming the carbocation. See, you have formed the tertiary carbocation. You have formed the tertiary carbocation. As I have already said you, the stability order of the carbocation, is tertiary more stable than secondary than primary. So here you have prepared tertiary carbocation, that is, it is a highly stable carbocation because this carbon is having 3 friends to help him. This carbocation whichever is formed is having 3 methyl groups to make him stable. So the carbocation, that is tertiary carbocation, is highly stable. Next, after doing this, you give back its proton. You give back its proton to sulfuric acid. Therefore, you will be getting CH2 double bond C, CH3 and CH3. Therefore, you got the product 2-methyl prop-1-ene. Therefore, rate of reaction depends on the stability of the carbocation formed after eliminating the water molecule from the protonated alcohol. So, rate of reaction is faster in tertiary alcohol than in secondary alcohol than in primary alcohol. So, rate of reaction depends on the reactant taken here. Rate of reaction depends on the reactant taken, and therefore you call it as a unimolecular E1 elimination reaction. That is E1 elimination reaction. So the point what you have to remember here is the ease of dehydration, that is the rate of reaction is faster at tertiary than secondary than primary. It depends on the formation of the carbocation. Second, rate of reaction is directly proportional to the reactant taken. In the first step, you have only reactant there and you call it as a elimination reaction. You call it as a E1 elimination reaction. That is E1 reaction. See, here the intermediate formed is carbocation. The intermediate is carbocation. Intermediate formed is carbocation, and tertiary carbocation is more stable than secondary and than primary. Depending on this itself, we can say ease of dehydration is faster for tertiary than the secondary and primary. And next point, rearrangement is possible. What is this point? I'll take the next example and I'll explain you what is this rearrangement of carbocation is possible. Rearrangement of carbocation is possible. Why do you do this rearrangement is? To make the carbocation more stable, you can do the rearrangement. There is a possibility of doing rearrangement. Why? To make the carbocation more stable. What rearrangement you are going to do? Either you will be doing a hydride shift. That is H minus shift. Or you will be doing a phenyl shift. I'll explain you in the next example. Or you will be doing a methyl shift. There are three possibilities of doing the rearrangement of carbocation to make it more stable product. To make a more stable carbocation, you can do this rearrangement of carbocation. And last point, since there is a elimination of water molecule in this particular reaction, in the presence of an acid, here you have removed the water molecule, elimination of a water, therefore you call it as a dehydration of an alcohol. You have removed the water molecule, but this is done in the presence of concentrated sulfuric acid, which is an acid. You can also call this reaction as acidic dehydration of alcohol. You can also call this reaction as acidic dehydration of alcohol. You can call this as acidic dehydration of alcohol. You can also call this as acidic dehydration because you have eliminated the water molecule in the presence of an acid. Therefore, you can call it as a acidic dehydration of alcohol. Let us take an example here, that is CH3, CH2, CH, OH. Okay, So here I have taken a secondary alcohol. Am I right? Here I have taken a secondary alcohol where the carbon which is having a OH group is in turn attached to two methyl groups. And therefore you call it as a secondary alcohol. And you need to prepare an alkene starting from this particular reactant, that is this particular alcohol. So what you are going to do here now? See, this is a alpha carbon. This is the alpha carbon where you have your OH group attached on it, and you need to eliminate the OH minus from this carbon, OH minus, and you need to remove the hydrogen from either this beta carbon or this beta carbon. Till now, whatever I had taken an example, you didn't have any confusion there because I had taken such examples: CH3, CH2OH. There is no confusion because from this carbon you removed OH minus, from this carbon you removed one H plus. Therefore, H plus OH minus elimination took place. But here I have given you two options where you can either remove your hydrogen from this beta or you can remove from beta dash. Now, how will you decide that from which carbon you are going to remove the H plus and do the elimination reaction now? So what we will do here is, we will remove the hydrogen from both the beta and beta dash and write the products and check how you are going to get the stable product. Okay, so here what I'll do here is, I'll remove the hydrogen from the beta carbon. I'll remove the hydrogen from this beta carbon and OH minus from this particular alpha carbon. So the product formed will be CH3, CH, one hydrogen from here I have removed, therefore double bond you will be getting by removing the OH minus, CH3. Am I right? What did I do? I have removed the hydrogen from the beta carbon. I have removed the hydrogen from the beta carbon. Now here I will write the product which I will be getting by removing the hydrogen from the beta dash carbon. I will be getting the product by removing the hydrogen from the beta dash carbon, that is CH double bond CH2. See now, I have removed OH minus from this carbon and H plus from this carbon. So I have got two different alkenes over here. I have got but 1, 2, 3, 4. But 2-ene as one product and but 1-ene as one more product. So how to decide which is major and which is minor now? How to decide which is major and which is minor now? Here we have to follow some particular rule which you call it as a Sedzeff rule. You need to follow Sedzeff rule. You have to follow Sedzeff's rule. So now what is a Sedzeff rule? It helps us to decide which is more stable alkene. It helps us to decide which is a more stable alkene formed here. So according to Sedzeff rule, the alkene will be more stable which is having more number of alpha hydrogens, which is having more number of alpha hydrogens. I repeat, Sedzeff rule helps us to decide which is the most stable alkene formed. So we don't know which is more stable alkene now. So this Sedzeff rule helps us to decide which alkene is formed more stable depending on number of alpha hydrogens present. So now here is my double bond formed, that is here is my alkene formed, and these are the alpha hydrogens. Carbon number 1 and carbon number 4 are the alpha hydrogens. See how many alpha hydrogens I have here? 3 and 3. So total I have here 4 alpha hydrogens. And come to this reactor, to this product. If this is my alkene, I don't have any alpha carbon here. I have a alpha carbon here. How many alpha hydrogens you have? You have 2 alpha hydrogens. So then according to Sedzeff rule, where you have the more number of alpha hydrogens, that particular alkene will be formed more stable. So I can easily decide if this is a product number 1 and if this is a product number 2, Product number 1 is a major product. It is a major product because I have 4 alpha hydrogens in this product. So it is major here. This is major. So when you have the confusion in formation of major alkene, if you have a formation in deciding which is a major alkene, then you can go by Sedzev rule. Sedzev rule helps us to decide which alkene is formed more stable or which is the major alkene formed in the elimination reaction. In the dehydration of alcohol, if you have any 2 options, then you can go by Sedzev rule. So now we'll take one more example and see how we can do the rearrangement of the carbocation. Let me take this compound, that is CH3, CH2, CH2, OH. I have taken a propanol here, or instead of propanol, let me take butanol. Okay, I have taken a butanol here. So, this is a dehydration of alcohol method where I will be using the concentrated sulfuric acid. What does this concentrated sulfuric acid do? It helps us to eliminate the water molecule from the alcohol. In the mechanism, we have seen that first it converts your alcohol into what? Into protonated alcohol. It converts into protonated alcohol. That is, we will be getting, we have here a lone pair of electrons. So we get CH3, CH2, CH2, OH, protonated alcohol. Once we get the protonated alcohol, it becomes easy to remove the water molecule because oxygen becomes unstable there. So we will be getting a carbocation formation after the removal of water molecule. Correct? So I have removed the water molecule by breaking this particular bond, and I will be getting a carbocation formed. So the intermediate for this particular mechanism is carbocation. So I have got the primary carbocation. So what will be our next step now? We'll remove the hydrogen from here and we'll try to form the alkene here. What we'll be doing? We will be removing the hydrogen from the adjacent carbon and we try to form the alkene here. If you just observe, this particular alkene, whatever you have formed, is not a proper product according to the reaction. Then what you are going to get here? See, we have one more option, that is rearrangement. I said you, as there is an intermediate formation carbocation, we can stabilize, or we have the possibility of making the carbocation more stable by doing the rearrangement of hydride shift, if not phenyl shift, if not methyl shift. Here we have a hydrogen. Adjacent hydride shift we can do. That is, I have a CH2 here. I can shift this H minus to this carbon. I can shift this H minus hydride shift to this particular carbon and make this carbon as a carbocation. What did I say? CH3, CH2, CH, CH3. I got a carbocation here. This was a primary carbocation which you got, and I did a rearrangement by 1,2 hydride shift. I shifted my hydride from this carbon to this particular carbon. So therefore I got a secondary carbocation. I stabilized the carbocation just by rearranging the hydride from the adjacent carbon. Just by shifting the hydride from the adjacent carbon, I converted this primary carbocation into secondary carbocation. What was the need? Because how much stable carbocation you form, so much stable you will be getting your alkene. So there is a need of this rearrangement to stabilize the carbocation formed. Because the product depends on the stability of the intermediate formed. The product stability depends on the stability of the carbocation formed. We had here primary carbocation, but we had an option of rearranging the hydride and preparing the secondary carbocation. So I have used that rearrangement. Now what you do is, you remove the hydrogen from either this carbon or from this carbon. One more option now. Here, if I take this as a alpha carbon, I have beta and beta dash carbon. From where are you going to remove the hydrogen now? Let me take the two options. Let me consider this as a beta dash and this as a beta. I will be removing the hydrogen from this beta dash and I get the product as CH3, CH2, CH double bond CH2 by removing the hydrogen from this particular carbon. If not, I will remove the hydrogen from this carbon. CH3, CH double bond CH, CH3. Now decide which is the stable alkene formed. Which rule are you going to apply here again? Again, Sedgwick rule. What does the Sedgwick rule says? The alkene formed will be more stable when it is having a more number of alpha hydrogens. Here I have only one alpha carbon, therefore I have only two alpha hydrogens. Here, if this is my alkene formed, I have 2 alpha carbons, 3 plus 3. I have 6 alpha hydrogens. So, according to the Sedgwick rule, this is a major product formed and this will be the minor product formed. So, what did we do here? The mechanism was very simple. Converting your alcohol into protonated alcohol using the dehydrating agent. After doing this as protonated alcohol, eliminate the water molecule and get your intermediate, that is carbocation. And from the adjacent carbon, remove the H plus, you will be getting a alkene. This was your mechanism of the dehydration of alcohols. But more extra 2 points is, after preparing the carbocation, if you have any possibility of rearrangement, if you have any possibility of doing rearrangement to make your carbocation more stable, then do the rearrangement reaction. How will you do this rearrangement? By hydride shift or methyl or phenyl shift. So here I had only one option, hydride shift. By doing hydride shift, I converted the primary carbocation into secondary carbocation. And you people know carbocation stability is tertiary, more stable than secondary than primary. Correct? And after doing this stable carbocation, you got one more doubt. From where to remove the hydrogen? From where to remove the H plus proton? Either from this carbon or from this carbon. Remove from both the carbons and write both the products. After writing both the products, which is major and which is minor now. So you will be following your Sedgwick rule to decide which is the major alkene prepared. So this is the major alkene prepared because you have the 6 alpha hydrogens. So this alkene is more stable than the one more alkene whatever you have prepared where you have only 2 alpha hydrogens. And that was all about your first method of preparation of alkene. Following this method, which is dehydration of alcohol, or you can also call it as a elimination reaction. It is a E1 reaction where you have a carbocation as an intermediate. Stability of the carbocation is tertiary, more stable than secondary than primary. The same method for the rate of reaction of this dehydration of alcohols. If you take tertiary alcohols, rate of reaction will be faster than if you take the secondary alcohol, than if you take the primary alcohol. Why? Because it depends on the stability of the intermediate formed, that is a carbocation. And if you have any possibility of doing the rearrangement, then go for rearrangement, because you will convert your unstable or less stable carbocation to more stable carbocation. Therefore, you end up in getting the more stable alkene. Our intention is preparation of alkene. If you have any option to prepare more stable alkene, then go for rearrangement. If you are getting two alkenes at the end of the reaction, then decide which is major and which is minor by following the Setzeff rule. I hope the class is clear, and we'll meet in the next class by taking the second method of preparation of alkene. Thank you.